Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Just wanted to do a little video on a new show I just watched. I guess it's on MTV, and it's called Stranded with $1 Million. And what it is it's they take 10 people, throw them on a tropical island, and basically they have to make they start with $100,000, and then they have to go to different objectives or different camps to collect $100,000 more dollars, and it'll all tally up to the million. And they have like drones. There's no really camera crew. It's like drones and cameras strapped to trees and stuff like that. But it's like these people are all trendies and hipsters and whatever. It's kind of like they had that show, The Real World. It's kind of like The Real World mixed with a survival show. And I'm pretty much into survival shows. They're pretty cool. This one's pretty interesting because every couple days or whatever, they have a tablet that goes off, and what it is they have a list of supplies you can actually buy to help you survive, right? And but the catch is everything's super expensive. There's like a hatchet for $8,000. So whatever you buy out of your money, it takes that much out of the pot at the end. So the last person or last people left will either split the remainder of the money, or they will, or it'll be a single person who wins it. But it was pretty interesting. I guess they had something also called a temptation challenge or something, and it just randomly picks a couple people, and then they go off, and then there's like this was on day 2. They had a table laid out of all kinds of hamburgers and fries and stuff, and and the cost of the meal was like $15,000 for 2 people to pig out. And so the 2 went and pigged out, and then they lied to the group and said, oh, it was a challenge we had to do for food, but we never completed it. It was pretty funny. But so $15,000 is gone, and then one person quit the show after 3 days already. It was a model, and I thought she would do better because they don't eat anything, but apparently not. She actually on the first day when she got there, she grabbed a coconut and started eating and drinking, and I guess it was a rotten one. She never bothered to check, smell, and just taste a tiny bit to see. So she took a mouthful of a rotten coconut, and then it hit her over the next couple days, and by day 3 she had to tap out. And what they do is they give you a flare gun, and on the flare is your name on the bullet of the flare and the ammo, and you just shoot it off to leave the show, and you obviously forfeit. So it was pretty crazy. But the other weird thing she did was she was sitting on the beach in almost like it was like a black hoodie. It's completely black, and you're in 109-degree heat on the sand. Like, are you aware of heat stroke? Or I don't know. It was really weird. Her sickness must have caused it. Like she had the chills or something, because any normal person would have had heat stroke off of that. But pretty crazy. So, and then there's a couple dudes that are kind of have a military background on there, and they're kind of staying together to knock off all the weaker contestants to try and get as much cash as possible. And they're talking everybody out of buying anything and all that. It's pretty funny because they're trying to be they're really playing it up. But it might turn out to be a pretty good show. I don't know how popular it is or anything, but I just watched the first episode. It's called Stranded with $1 Million on MTV, so if you guys want to check that out, sounds like something you're into. It's pretty interesting because, you know, they can buy shelters instead of using the natural materials, but it costs like $16,000 for a 2-person tent. I think machete was $15,000. The hatchet was $8,000. That was the cheapest. I would have at least got that because you can do a lot with a hatchet. I didn't see any fire starters on the list, but I guess they didn't show that. It's only the first episode, but I'm assuming you could get a fire steel and be set for the entire show. I would definitely do that and just take your hatchet and the fire steel, get your sparks, you're good to go. And maybe a fishing kit as well, because they were the entire time they were surviving off of just coconuts, and I guess some of them found some little crabs and crushed them up on the beach, and that was about it. And then every certain amount of days they contact you via this tablet, and then you have to leave your campsite. So you're not just making camp and staying there 40 days. You gotta move whenever they tell you. And if you don't move, now it's a time thing too. So to get to the next $100,000 for your bank, you have to make it in 3.5 hours. So if one person in your group is weak and can't make it in that time, and they don't make it with the rest of you in 3.5 hours, the whole team loses the $100,000, right? So it's kind of like should we knock the weakest person off? So that's what actually happened. The model, everybody talked her into knocking herself off before, because there was no way she was going to make the 3.5 hour hike through the jungle to the next campsite. So it's a pretty interesting show. Yeah, I'm pretty hooked on it already. I just after the first episode, so we'll see what happens. But I'll see if I can. I don't know how long it'll last. It's an MTV show, so who knows, right? So just a little survival review of a TV show that's out, a new one, and that's it for now, guys.